Wide open look for two. That is Paolo Banchero, or at least it should be. On February 7th, he went 6 for 1-7 from the field against the team with the worst defense in the entire league. Now, if you're a casual fan who does not follow every game, you might shrug this off as just another bad night. But for those who actually study his game, this is far from an isolated incident. For years, the Orlando Magic have treated Banchero as their future. They've built around him, believed in him, and let him handle the ball as the centerpiece of their offense. Banchero himself wants to be that player, the one who lifts Orlando back into contention, the face of the franchise. On paper, he's the ideal candidate. At 6'10" inches and extremely agile for his size, he has a skill set that NBA teams rarely see. The league even viewed him as a high-ceiling prospect when he went number 1 overall in the 2002 draft, a player with the potential to be transformative. But here's the hard truth. Potential does not always equal production. Between the highlights and the flashy dunks is a player who, at times, struggles to live up to the hype. A deeper dive into his game reveals more flaws than most fans want to admit. And with Orlando still stuck in mediocrity despite Banchero and Franz Wagner leading the team, it is becoming increasingly clear. The Magic's next dynasty likely will not start with Paolo, but after him. Banchero arrived in Orlando at a time when the team was rebuilding. Following the end of the Dwight Howard era, the Magic were desperate to find a cornerstone. For a franchise starved of success, the hope was that Banchero could be that guy. Early scouting reports were promising, but cautious. One scout even compared him to Julius Randle, noting his combination of size, dribbling, and passing, while warning about turnover issues, poor rim protection, and questionable defensive versatility. At first glance, Paolo's rookie season seemed to validate the hype. He showed flashes of brilliance, dropping 30-point games and collecting double-doubles, but the flashes were inconsistent. In between the standout performances, his rookie season revealed something fundamental. Banchero is fearless with the basketball. He will take nearly any shot, no matter how inefficient. This tunnel vision, this willingness to force his style, has persisted. Look at a chart comparing his rookie season shots to his fourth-season attempts. They're nearly identical. Banchero continues to brute force his offense, hoping that volume shooting will translate into efficiency. It hasn't. Even in his fourth year, his scoring efficiency is below league average. And in an era where the NBA emphasizes spacing, ball movement, and high-percentage shots, the Magic's reliance on him looks increasingly outdated. A major reason for his inefficiency is that the Magic rely on him too heavily. From day one, Orlando has treated him as a heliocentric player, the center around which the offense revolves. Think LeBron James in Cleveland, early career, except Paolo is not even close to young LeBron. LeBron was a better shooter, passer, finisher, and defender, even in an era with worse spacing. Banchero, meanwhile, attempts nearly 60% of his shots unassisted, creating his own offense at the cost of team efficiency. And the results speak for themselves. He hits just 39% of his isolation attempts, 29% on pull-ups, and his efficiency drops dramatically the longer he holds the ball. Essentially, the longer Paolo has the ball, the more likely he is to shoot poorly. The data suggests he could be highly effective off the ball, cutting and moving without having to create every shot himself, but he refuses to do so, and the Magic have allowed it. For comparison, look at Luka Dončić. His effective field goal percentage barely changes regardless of ball handling time. Dončić thrives in a heliocentric offense because he can consistently create high-quality opportunities for himself and his teammates. Banchero, on the other hand, is a volume scorer without the same efficiency, spacing, or decision-making. Speaking of spacing, the Magic have never solved this problem. Banchero shoots just 61% at the rim, a figure worse than the average shooting guard. This is remarkable for a 6'10" inches forward who should dominate near the basket. Why is this happening? 2 reasons. First, the Magic lack shooters to pull defenders away, meaning the paint is often congested. Second, Banchero struggles finishing through contact. He has the size and athleticism to dominate, but his technique at the rim is inconsistent, and he frequently forces awkward shots. Even when the Magic brought in shooters like Desmond Bane, Paolo's efficiency near the basket barely improved. Banchero also provides no spacing himself. His three-point shot remains erratic, fluctuating year by year, with no real improvement. Without credible outside shooting, defenses collapse on him, making his scoring attempts far more difficult and further hurting team efficiency. His lack of off-ball movement exacerbates these issues. Tracking data shows he attempted just 19 cuts in his first 40 games of the season. That is less than half a cut per game. And yet, when he does cut, he scores 68% of the time. Imagine if he incorporated this into his game more frequently. It would improve spacing, force defenses to rotate, and create easier shots for his teammates. Instead, the Magic's offense relies too heavily on him standing and creating every opportunity. For years, Banchero and Franz Wagner were positioned as Orlando's young duo of the future, capable of redefining positionless basketball. Both are versatile, 6'10" inches forwards who can do a bit of everything. Initially, the plan was to make them 1A and 1B co-stars in a balanced, high-upside offense. Reality, however, has been different. Both players are effectively second options. Orlando lacks a true number one, and the data underscores it. Over nearly 6,000 minutes across 3 seasons, Paolo's net rating reveals that the team performs worse with him on the court than without. Contrast that with almost every other All-Star, even on losing teams, who improves their team's performance. Larry Markin, for example, dramatically lifts Utah's net rating when he plays. Paolo's impact is the opposite. His presence, handling, and shot selection often hinder his team. And yet, the criticism Paolo receives does not match the scrutiny smaller guards or other volume scorers face. Some fans even compare him to Jalen Green of Houston, suggesting Paolo is just a 6'10" inches version. On the surface, that seems flattering. But Green's size disadvantage means he's expected to improve through experience and skill. Paolo, in theory, has a higher ceiling due to his size, yet his flaws, tunnel vision, inefficient shot selection, and inconsistent finishing, mirror Green's. The difference is, Paolo has a higher floor, but still has not translated that into winning basketball consistently. So what is the solution? Trading him might not be necessary, but redefining his role could be. If Orlando leverages his cutting ability, off-ball scoring, and playmaking in tandem with improved spacing, Paolo could be an elite contributor without needing to control every possession. The key is changing the narrative. Paolo does not need to be the LeBron-style centerpiece to be valuable. He can thrive in a supporting, complementary, or hybrid role that maximizes his strengths and hides weaknesses. The Magic, unfortunately, have yet to embrace that philosophy. They continue to rely on a flawed model, insisting that Paolo be the main creator, the offensive focal point, and the team's face. The data, the film, and the numbers all suggest a different approach would be more effective. The challenge is whether Orlando is willing to accept it, and whether Paolo is willing to adapt. At the end of the day, Paolo Banchero is a fascinating case study. He has the tools, the talent, and the physical gifts to be great. He's athletic, versatile, and creative. But potential alone does not guarantee results. Consistency, efficiency, and understanding how to maximize his skill set in a modern NBA offense are where the Magic have fallen short. If they continue down the same path, the promise of a Banchero-led dynasty will remain just that, a promise, not a reality. So, Magic fans and NBA enthusiasts alike, what do you think? Is Paolo Banchero truly the franchise cornerstone he was drafted to be? Or is it time to reconsider his role and play to his strengths differently? Should Orlando keep forcing him into a position he struggles with, or adapt their offense to elevate both him and the team? I know this might seem harsh, but it is the reality when you look at the numbers, the film, and the impact over multiple seasons. Banchero has moments of brilliance, but the flaws are consistent, and the team's strategy has not helped him or them reach their potential. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Can Paolo evolve into the star the Magic envisioned, or will the franchise need to build their next chapter around someone else? Either way, one thing is clear. The story of Paolo Banchero is far from over, and the Magic's future depends on how both he and the team respond to the challenges ahead.